So what exactly is if name is main? Well, in this video, I'll show you. Basically, this is boilerplate code that will protect your program against accidentally invoking code upon executing a Python program. So I have a Python program here called create new file, and all it does is create a new file called new file.txt. So this is the function up here that's going to create that new file, and then at the bottom here I call that function. So when I run this file, all it should do is it should make a blank file called new file.txt. So I'm going to call the Python program down here in the command prompt, and it does what we expect. It creates a new file called new file.txt. Okay, so why do we care about that? Well, let me just delete that, and then I'll show you why we care about the fact that this function creates a new file when it's called, right? We only want it to create a new file when it's called. We only want the code inside of a function to run when we call the function. Well, if we go over to this new file that I've made, what we're going to do here in this file is we're going to perform an import, and we're going to import that create new file function. We're not going to run it, we're just going to perform the import so that we could run that if we wanted to. The problem here is that because we don't have if name is main, it's actually going to run the function when we're not actually running the function. When it performs the import, it's going to run the function. And so that's the problem that if name is main solves. So you can see here that all this file does is it performs the import, and then it has a simple print statement, but that's it. It doesn't actually run the function, but when we run the file, so import create new file, it's actually going to run the code and create that new file.txt, which we don't want because we haven't actually run this function call yet. So if we go back over here and we uncomment if name is main, then yeah, we can leave that alone. What we can do, and we can comment this out at this point actually, so let's delete that text file, and then let's go back over here, and now when we perform the import, it will just perform the import. It won't actually run the function, which is what we want. So import create new file, and there we go. So it ran this code, but it didn't actually run the function that it tried to import. All it did was perform the import. So this is very useful if you just want to import your functions from a different module or file, and you don't actually want to run your functions just when you perform the import. I hope this video was helpful.